Oh, you can hear Miles, the angry pig. Hi, girlfriend. What you doing? So, I promised that after having the absolute technology flub that I did on recording morning feeding uh, last time, that we do it again. So welcome back to Raising for Home Farm, where the animals rule the schedule and I barely, almost never keep up. But I try. Nothing here is scripted. Everything is unplanned, and it's essentially just videoing life on the farm. And I do a little chatting while we do it. So it's morning feeding time. Hi, sweetheart. You're not hungry today, or you don't want to fight? She's our youngest doeling of the group and the youngest period of the group. So it's not surprising that she's not as fascinated by the grain just yet. This is morning grain. Oh, yeah, you're going to jump on mom? That's not even mom. Wrong mom. That's your aunt. And that would be her brother. So again, the younger ones are still not quite as interested in grain, but the older ones, they don't waste any time. They push the moms out of the way. They put their feet in the buckets to make sure they don't get shoved out of the way. They keep their heads down. And they're really still only eating like one piece at a time. So they're not taking a whole lot from the moms just yet, which is fine because the moms are still nursing. But they have definitely figured out that goat pellets and hay stretcher pellets are nummy delicious. And it's kind of nice to be peaceful and quiet for a moment. And yes, they just switch from bowl to bowl to bowl. I started this recording, I'm going to say 45 seconds after I put the bowls down. So we're about 2 minutes in and the bowls are just about empty. I don't give them a lot, so that's, they're not eating this entire, the bowls aren't filled to the top. In fact, the bottoms aren't really even covered, right? This is really just a supplement. As each bowl finishes up, and they'll lick the crumbs, they won't miss a beat. But as each bowl finishes up, they'll switch from bowl to bowl. You'll see more and more heads in the same bowl when there's one or two things left. And I actually have to pick the bowls up pretty quickly because the babies are completely ill-mannered and they will pee in the bowls. Why they do that, Lord only knows. They can pee anywhere in the pasture or the stall. Huh, mister? You coming to say hi? You always come to say hi. You love the camera. You're so funny. But yes, if I leave the bowls down for an extended period of time, they will absolutely pee into bowls. Did you come for your morning scritch? You did. Hi, buddy. Let's snuggle, huh? You come for your morning snuggle? I'm back in a jacket because it's freaking 34 degrees Fahrenheit out, just barely above freezing this morning after having 90-degree days. Now, the difference between 34 degrees 2 weeks ago and now is there's no heat lamps on in the stalls. We have turned them off. The days get warm enough now that they don't need it. The nights, even when the nights get cold, these guys are all big enough now to be able to regulate their temperature. They have plenty of coat. In fact, a lot of them are becoming woolly bullies, aren't you? Look at you. You are so hairy. And so there's absolutely no reason. And then here's my little friend, my buddy. Absolutely no reason to have heat lamps on anymore. And it's a good acclimation for them, right? So once the temperatures, and yes, they fluctuate in New Jersey. We were 90 degrees 2 days ago. We're 34 degrees Fahrenheit today. I can't win. But it's good acclimation for the babies now to understand hot, cold, hot, cold. They're clearly not bothered. They warm up during the day with no problem. And frankly, their body temperatures are higher than ours, so the cold feels different to them anyway. And they're just about done with their grain. Everybody's starting to come in for their morning visits and snuggles and scritches instead of being focused on the bowls. They're out there playing again. You can see where the sun is starting to move up the pasture, and they know it too, so they'll head down to where the sun is. Everybody's still practicing being bucks. It's always interesting. Can't believe we still have 8 bucklings and 2 doelings, so it's the Humpty Hump every day at this point. So yeah, I just wanted to do a redemption video for myself, if nothing else. Hi, mister. I know you love to come in for some snuggy snugs. Hi, Ren. Thank you. Thanks for that. And I've got to get to feeding everybody else in the barn. Part of this routine, just as an FYI, why it works for videos, is because I need the bowls to feed the adult does. So it kind of works, right? They mow down these bowls fairly quickly. Then I can pick them up, feed everybody else, do all their water refreshing, and then give hay. There's Tonka, who is absolutely barking at our barn cat, who, as per normal, could care less. I'm trying to decide if I want to groom Denali today after work. I'm not a big fan of grooming after work. I actually prefer to groom on the weekends when I have more time to focus. But unfortunately, I've run myself to the point that I kind of need to... Look, see? Do you see what I mean here? Somebody peed in the bowl, and I didn't have it down that long, which means now I have to wash the bowl before using it again. All right. On that note, and with Tonka being a Dorcosaurus, I'm going to leave you. But until next time, there's work to be done. Bye for now.